Hey yo, what is up? This is the Rapoo VT1. That is one of the first mice on the market with the new 3950 PixArt sensors, and when they initially launched there was a lot of interest in them because they resembled the Alienware mice. This is to say the design was quite attractive, and finally I managed to snag one thanks to Anderson from The Matrix. Now let me just show you what's inside the box. When you unbox it, it comes like that. Very simple unboxing. Simple two-tone color on the top. Rip it out. Unveils itself. Mouse is inside. Accoutrements is below. And inside you just get your usual grip tape, extra feet. You get the cable, you get the dongle, and you get the dongle extender. There's 3 versions of this mouse, and this one I have is the Pro Max. 59 grams with a whopping 800 milliamp battery with Omron 60 million mechanical switches. It also comes stock with a 4K regular looking dongle. That's pretty cool. You don't have to tether the cable to your dongle extender and then have it on your desk, but you could if you wanted to. But here's the big plus: this 4K dongle also lights up, and it also does 8K wirelessly. All you have to do is enable it on the UI and you're good to go. I have tested it out on the Razer polling tester, and the VT1 does register 8K polling, and that is a huge plus for a tiny dongle that you can have stick it under your desk and immediately have 8K polling, and you don't need the dongle extender and the cable to have it on your table, if you are looking for that clean look, of course. But let's move on. Let's talk about the size and shape. This is a smaller mouse by any definition. Think Lamzu Maya or Atlantis Mini, or even the ATK F1. This mouse has one of those pointed back humps that make it feel like it's even smaller than it actually is. Compared to the OP1WE, it is wider but shorter. Again, the pointed back hump and narrow butt cheeks give you the impression that the OP1WE by comparison, is rounder butt cheeks and more concentrated rear hump. It makes it feel like the OP1WE is bigger when it actually isn't. The VT1 is actually wider, but OP1WE fits my hand a bit more because of that hump and that wide round butt cheek. I would say this mouse is well suited to small hands of 18 centimeters and below, where you will feel this mouse is gonna be more snug up against the palm of your hand. For bigger hands, this is an aggressive claw or fingertip. If this is your style, then it will suit your grip easily. It's almost identical to the ATK F1 in terms of the size and feel because of that pointed and non-existent, skinny butt cheeks, I would say. The build quality itself, it's very solid. Nothing stands out as below par or inferior. The buttons, they do not wobble, and the gaps, they're tight. It feels really solid. There's no twisting, no creaking sounds. It's pretty good. There's a door that holds the 4K dongle, and it's held in there magnetically. Just push down on it and there your dongle sits in there, also held in there magnetically. There's also some hardware that seems to allow some kind of wireless charging. There's no charging dock provided, but I did see some literature online about the charging dock that looked like an AJAS type charging dock. Let me just show it to you. It was something like that, and then it goes like that. That's the Ajas one. But anyway, I think they feel like they missed an opportunity here to make it lighter, because they had to put magnets here, they had to put magnets to hold in the dongle, and then this unnecessary door perhaps. Maybe they could have got this down to the 55 gram bracket, but they chose to not include if they chose not to include the magnets and charging slot and door. Right now it weighs in at 62 grams with the door, and without the door it's about 61 grams. Here you go, 62, remove the door, and you get about 60.8, 61 grams, I would say. Speaking of weight, this mouse is also front heavy. I want to do that test here. Front heavy, if that matters to you. In the hand and in game, it does not have any kind of influence in the way I handle my mouse. The coating and buttons, it's very smooth and dry. I don't feel any kind of rubberized coating, but I'm also the type that don't mind mice with or without coating. So I do suspect this might be challenging for people with drier hands, because the surface of the mouse isn't going to provide any kind of additional grip. Now in the box it does come with extra set of grips in case you need them. M1 and M2 uses Omron 60 million switches, so they did try the secret sauce that many people like, and this was a good choice because the clicks are good, leaning towards above average. The side buttons are pretty average, and they get the job done. They're not the greatest, but they work fine. But I noticed there's also a two-way DPI button on top of the mouse, which will come in handy for those of you who like to bind those extra keys and abilities, bind them to abilities or equipment. So in my book, these get extra points. Now let's get to the feet. The stock feet are horrendous. I think they are black PTFE, colored PTFE, or whatever dyed PTFE you call them. If you know me, I like to review mice with stock feet, and even I can't stand them. I rip them out and I put in aftermarket nylon 66 dots, and they were amazing. Right now I have the stock feet installed again, and if I'm being honest, the stock feet with the protective sticker is better than the PTFE that is underneath. So I'm leaving the sticker on because it feels better like this without ripping the sticker off. So let's get to the best part: performance and value for money. For a $56 mouse, you are getting the biggest bang for your buck. Remember, this is the newest flagship 3950 top of the shelf sensor and 8K polling right out of the box with a normal looking dongle. You can stick this dongle in your PC, in your what do you call that, your dongle dock, and it'll go 8K. I haven't seen any other manufacturer come out with 8K dongles that look anything other than a large table ornament that kind of like breaks up your clean vibe, if that's what you're going for. The only real downside for me is the mouse is pretty small in my hand, and aside from the cool Alienware look, the feel in my hand, it just feels kind of normie for me. It's not special enough. Not like an ATK F1, it has a special different feeling. The OP1WE has a special different feeling, and these are the kind of unique shapes that I would want to keep around for a small medium mouse. For a medium mouse, I would immediately gravitate towards the VXE R1 kind of shape, X2 Ninjutsu Sora is still on the small side, but you get what I mean. These kind of mice will be my medium kind of mouse, and for the small shape I would prefer an OP1WE or an ATK F1. That is just my kind of feel. So it's what I want to say, it's actually very subjective, this shape thing, right? Shape and feel, it depends on the size of your hand, your style of grip, whether it's pleasing to your eye or not. Like I said, I feel like this is great for any kind of hand that is like 18 centimeters and below. It's going to be excellent. Overall, it's still great even at this low price point. You have so many choices and you don't have to compromise in quality and performance. In my opinion, I feel like it's best to try out a few different shapes before you set your mind on what type of shapes you feel comfortable with. But this is one of those choices. For me, I prefer the ATK or OP1WE. For you, it could be the VT1 Pro Max, is what I'm trying to say. I initially unboxed this mouse and did not have very high hopes for it, but after taking care of the skates, I really enjoyed it, and then it kind of changed my perspective on the VT1 and made me look twice. And then those bonus points with the DPI button for you to remap to abilities or equipment, that is a bonus plus. And then the 8K dongle coming in at this size is a huge bonus for those people who don't want dongle extenders and cables on your table. That could be a good option for you guys, for those of you guys anyway. But yeah, that's my video on the VT1. Hope you enjoyed this video and took some useful information out of it, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.